Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
And welcome to Global Talks with myself, Zanna. And today I have a most amazing lady and entrepreneur all the way from down under Australia. I would like to welcome today Lucy Bernabei. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
I'm very, very happy that you're here. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you hugely. We've got a lot to talk about, haven't we?
Yeah, we sure do. Super excited to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so what I really want to do, there's a lot to talk about. Welcome. Because there's so much, let's just kind of start from sort of the beginning, because I think really, from what I see, that you most certainly have lived most far from a mundane life. It's actually way back to your mother growing up. Quite extraordinary how you've maneuvered around the globe. And that kind of ties into what we're going to talk about later. So tell me how your story began.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a global story. My parents were both born in Madeira, a tiny little island off the coast of Portugal, and they ended up immigrating to South Africa. In fact, my mother was on a boat that went across during the World War II, and she was only 12 years old. I mean, can you imagine what a scary journey that would have been? And they had a white flag even on the ship to make sure that people knew it wasn't a warship. Yeah, and they moved to South Africa, and we had a wonderful family life. And I then decided, or fate brought me across to meet an Italian man who was born in Italy, and his parents had also moved from Italy to South Africa. And history repeated itself, where my husband and I, he was 45 with 3 kids, and we moved to New Zealand, and his dad was 45 with 3 kids when they moved from Italy to South Africa. But my dad was not very well educated. Coming from a poor island, he didn't really get much education, but he was an entrepreneur. And, in South Africa, he worked his way up and ended up being quite a successful businessman with owning properties. And he really did well, considering the start that he had to basically to a new life in a new country. And we then, my husband and I then moved with our 3 kids to New Zealand, where we were for many years, and then ended up in Australia, like you said, in Down Under. And here we are. We've been here since 2011, and we absolutely love it. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind for us and our family. Did you want me to go on?
That's really quite a story, isn't it? Because that's just a really brief overview. I think it's amazing. I can't imagine what it would have been like for your mother as a young girl to make that journey from the coast of Portugal all the way round to South Africa. It must have been
scary.
Extraordinarily scary.
Yeah, it was. It was very scary. And something that I haven't mentioned is that she was going across to a man who was biologically her dad, but she'd never actually met. So that was even an added layer to that. So it made it even more scary. And I suppose in a crazy way, that's maybe what my husband and I did, moving to New Zealand with no family there, no friends, nobody, and $2,000 to our name. That was it. And we took the leap because we wanted to give our kids a better future. And there's a lot of downsides to moving country with kids, because they feel like they've lost a lot of their family connections. But at the same time, it's also taught us a lot of things, that you can actually make a new start and you can actually get ahead in a new country. And it's an adventure. And I think that's probably part of my Sagittarian personality. I like adventure and I like travel. So we've been blessed to see a lot of things.
Well, you certainly got the travel in.
We definitely did. I mean, we actually spent 2 years in Namibia in a gold mine town, which was in the middle of the desert, which was pretty interesting. And as I say, South Africa, we've lived in New Zealand and Australia.
Unbelievable. I think it's fantastic. I think sometimes when people hear stories from people like yourself that have traveled around the world and lived in all these different places, it's almost a thought for some people that, oh, I wish I could do that. But you did it with $200 in the pocket, as it were. So you did it on a shoestring, didn't you? And that in itself took enormous courage. So I think in life, courage is key, isn't it? You know, planning adventures in life would move you around.
Oh, absolutely. And
it takes huge courage. But it certainly makes you into somebody that you become.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, growing up, I would have probably been, if you'd asked me, are you going to leave your family, leave your home and move to another country, I would have said, you must be crazy. That, I'd be the last person to do it. But you just don't know how situations change, and you get to the stage where you think, you know what, I want better for my family. I want better for my kids. And the political situation in South Africa was just something that I felt that we needed to move to help our kids get ahead. And travel's always been something that's been something that I've enjoyed. I worked with a travel company for 20 years, and that just became part of me. And yet, as a kid, I never traveled at all. My dad was so busy working that we never went on holidays. We never ever traveled as a family. So it just shows you don't know what's ahead of you.
Absolutely not. And I think that's extraordinary, with travel as something part of your blood, that you ended up working in the travel industry. That must have set you up for new ideas.
100%. And I think it started to
the way
make
I
me
see
think...
you is a lady with
it made me think about what I could do. And I think, there was always this yearning desire for me to have a job that I found that was interesting and also really stretched me. And I think it got to the stage where I thought, you know what, there must be more to life than just continuously working. And I think that's where the sort of desire to get into business came into being. And travel's always been a passion of mine.
Absolutely fantastic. Any destinations for the near future?
Absolutely. Definitely Bali in August, and that's definitely a family holiday with the grandkids, which we're excited about, because that is so relaxing. And it's just, a different world, and it's island time, so there's no schedules, no running kids to school, so it's lovely. I love it, absolutely love it.
Oh, how wonderful. And a couple of others on your bucket list, perhaps.
I'll tell you about the best destination in the entire world that you have to go to and add it to your bucket list is the Maldives. I don't know why. I've just somehow landed up. I'm not sure if you're aware, but when you work in travel, you get what they call famil trips or work trips, which is all about you going to destinations and finding out about that destination so that your clients can get insight into where you're going. And for some reason, I always ended up going to islands, Palma, Mallorca, Mauritius, Tahiti, you name it, always islands. Somehow that just ended up being part of my journey. And the Maldives is the best destination in the entire world that I've ever been to. So I would highly, highly recommend it to anybody that wants to do something spectacular. So yeah, that's my little 5-cent tip.
It's kind of on my bucket list. Zanzibar is definitely on my bucket list, along with many other places for sure. Yeah, I think as human beings, we all either dream of traveling around the parts of our planet. So, yeah, I think that's interesting. So that was a global business. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about you as a business lady, because you're definitely entrepreneurial. I've listened to how you talk with people. You're more than just a business lady, more than just an entrepreneur, because you educate people. So a little bit more talk about the type of businesses that have interested you over the years, so that we can lead up to what you're currently doing, which is particularly fascinating, I think. So you've worked in the travel industry.
Yep, I have. And I actually owned a shoe business as well, which I don't think I've told you before. I actually forgot about that one. So yes, I've always had this dream and this absolute passion to be financially independent and to not so much have extreme wealth for myself, but I've got this thing about always trying to help people that are struggling. And I think it's because I've experienced struggles. I mean, there was times in New Zealand where we had $50 to feed a family of 5 when we first moved country. So I know what it's like to struggle. But I had a shoe business for a few years when we lived in Namibia. And then even though I was working full-time in travel industry or in the corporate industry, there was always this thing in the back of my mind: what can I do so that I don't have to be a typical 9-to-5 person answering to the whole corporate type structure and rules. I don't really like too many rules. I'm not, I like the fact that we have rules, but I don't like too many rules. So I've done lots of stuff online. I probably started in the sort of network marketing industry when my daughter was a baby, so probably about 35 years ago. And then, of course, with the whole online move, we all started working online, and I've done affiliate marketing. I've done products. I did products for a while, and then I moved away completely from products and started looking at crypto, and really started to get interested in why is crypto becoming so important? Why is crypto almost the buzzword and everybody is talking about crypto? And unfortunately, when you are, I suppose, crypto illiterate, you go into certain crypto businesses not really knowing what you do, and you get burnt. And I've learned more recently really come across an incredible business that has really highlighted education. And I think that is definitely the key. And that is something that I feel passionate about sharing with other people, is not all crypto is bad. People automatically sort of put crypto in an area of, oh, it's bad because they've lost money with crypto. But it's not necessarily crypto that's bad. It's the offer that they got involved in, or the community that they got involved in. So having an educational platform where education is actually at the forefront of the business and the key is, to me, it's so special and it's so brilliant, because it doesn't matter what business you're in, education is always key. And to be in a business with crypto, which is so 2026, and whether we like it or not, it's what our world is coming to, and to be able to offer it globally at an affordable entry, and with education being key, to me, it's just an absolute brilliant package deal that you're getting.
That's it. So education is the key, isn't it? And I think that's
absolutely.
I think I'm getting on now in years, but if I go way back to when I was a little girl, everybody, the one thing that you did was, as a kid, you'd open up a post office account. I doubt they do that these days. It'll all be on their phone, won't it? So we didn't have phones, we didn't have the internet. Going back a few decades, everything operated very, very differently. We had television, so that was one thing, and you had radio, but you couldn't imagine it could become any more than that. Fast forward, when my children were growing up, I still needed a camera with a film, and you'd be careful how many photographs you took, because processed into a picture and an album. So things were different, but I think at that point started to change. So kind of talking all companies originally didn't have a website. There was no website. So some small businesses would have considered themselves, oh, we're too small, we don't need that. There were other big companies that had said, we've been working this way for 100 years. Then you have the other. They created their flash website, which cost a fortune. And those were the ones that advanced. And the companies that said, no, we're not doing that, they fell behind. And their companies, in fact, couldn't survive without that online presence. So that kind of brought us up to a very, very new way. A very, very new way of life. So then, of course, suddenly we've got mobile phones, phone. But it was then a new way of keeping in touch with them while I was working and they were school and that kind of thing. So I think that probably in a short space of time, the way that our online world is evolving, and is very fast. So we've reached this currencies through the blockchain. So I think a lot of people just can't get their head around, well, what is this blockchain? What's it for? I don't do that. So that's why this education, I feel, is just of paramount importance to all of us. So tell me how you got involved.
Well, I think if you're in the online in the online industry or the network marketing industry, people tend to offer you things or invite you to attend meetings, or they want to, I suppose, get you involved, because at the end of the day, they're trying to create a business for themselves as well. And the more people they get involved, the more money they can make. So it tends to be by invite, and you start to see things. And if you're on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you see people talking about crypto. So to be honest, when I first, I think it was about 2010, and my daughter said to me, "Aren't you going to buy Bitcoin?" And I was like, no ways, I'm not going to get scammed with that stuff, because I didn't have the education. I didn't have the knowledge. To me, it was some fake stuff that some person had created and was just trying to scam me, because that's, I suppose, ignorance. You don't have the education, so you just automatically go to that default setting. So as time has evolved, and I suppose my own self-education, and started to find out more and more about it. And whether we like it or not, the world is changing. I'm not a huge news watcher. I'm not a huge, a newspaper. I can't even tell you when last I've read one, whether it's online or a physical piece of paper. But I do tend to watch snippets and try and get the latest kind of what's going on. And whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter what country you're in, our governments, our banks are becoming more and more controlling. I hear stories all the time of people's banks being restricted or being questioned. A customer will go into a bank and want to withdraw cash, and they're getting questioned about why they're withdrawing that money. It's their own money that they've worked for and got whichever way they like. So to me, it's definitely... I think out of necessity, I've started to look more and more at crypto as an alternative for our own freedom. Gives us another way to purchase things. It gives us another way to create wealth, and to also to, share with other people in a different way and in a different format, where we're in more control.
Absolutely. I think for me, the fascination became this difference between the centralized world and now the decentralized world. What does that mean?
Well, that's exactly right. Being in a centralized world,
how does that incorporate me? We've centralized world forever so far.
Yeah, and the thing is, whether we understand it or not, I mean, some of us that are now involved in learning about crypto and the whole blockchain, we're starting to understand exactly what that means. And once you understand that the centralized world is not the same as what it was. You spoke earlier on about your children and, and post office, bank accounts and that type of thing. That's long past. We're now in a situation where the banks control us. The banks don't want us to have access to sort of our cash and all that type of thing. So they're trying to put controls on that. and I had a friend in New Zealand that needed to send me, I think it was about $50, and she paid a $20 fee to send that $50. So it cost her almost 50% of what she needed to send me. And I said to her, can't you send me crypto? She didn't have a clue and said, absolutely no ways. And I think that's where we're starting to understand that the decentralized world of the blockchain is something that we can use, whether it's to send money to people around the world. And let's face it, our world has shrunk. As I said to you, with my parents, when they moved from Madeira to South Africa in what would have been the 40s, late 30s, 40s, there was no ways they could contact their family back in Madeira. Once they landed in South Africa, they almost had no contact. When I moved from South Africa to New Zealand in 1997, I used to send faxes to people and write a letter or fax to, talk about, or send an email. There was, we didn't have the fantastic ways of contacting people that we have now. And so I think crypto and blockchain has brought in a whole new way of us sending money to people or sending crypto to people, which is in effect still, and we have to start thinking that money doesn't only exist in paper notes or fiat, that what we used to. And I think that's the big mental shift that a lot of people still have to have. They don't like the fact that they can't see it in their bank account. And I think that's where the whole education helps people to sort of get away from that.
Absolutely. Well, of course, with such a big shift in the way that business operates now, in many countries, there are a lot of businesses actually adopting crypto payment systems. So there's an awful lot of people around the world can already do. I know that in various states across America, they can use cryptocurrencies to purchase the groceries and things. People can buy travel. They can book flights. You can book hotels. People around the world are actually buying physical products, like even cars and things. Not in every country, but it's continuing to unfold. So it's not going to stop. And I think the difference with this change in money is that it is so monumentally different that it's not an easy thought process, which again brings in the necessity of education. We all need it. And I can speak for myself that the more I'm learning, the more I'm understanding, and therefore the more my confidence increases in how we will manage and how we will be interesting.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I think sometimes we are spoiled. You mentioned them in America that they can pay for groceries with their crypto, and a lot of countries can do that.
So the education
we are, I think we are blessed in the countries that we are in that we do have that opportunity to use the crypto in other ways, but also we need to spread the word, because we need to help the other countries that don't have that privilege, that don't have that luxury to be able to use even, the centralized system like we can. So I think for them, especially, moving to decentralized is almost at the stage where it's essential that we get that out to them. I think also, yes, as I was saying, I talk a lot with people in Papua New Guinea, and watching them having to queue at midnight for 8-9 hours just to get to the bank to get some cash out so they can purchase food is just crazy. So, those are the type of communities that I really want to also work with and help.
Great day. It's your girl Asada.
We're going to go into
here to
a commercial
introduce
break
a new
now.
female solution show called Asada Says. That's right. Every month we're going to talk about everything I am, from cryptocurrency and financial security to good health and parenting strategies. Come on and talk with me every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And let's do that thing the way Asada says it should be done. See you then. Peace, right here on the Female Solution.
Peace and love. I'm Michelle Renee, host of Education Nation, live on the Female Solution Global Network every second and fourth Sunday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The intention of Education Nation is to raise awareness about the literacy crisis and to offer information to combat the problem. The goal is to awaken an army of reading coaches and mentors. You will experience guests who are doing their part in the community to ensure youth in their circles are reading and thinking critically. I look forward to serving you in this capacity. Literacy is freedom, and Education Nation will offer information and strategies to help ensure our young people stay free.
And welcome back to Global Talks. And thank you, Lucy. This has been absolutely superb to be able to speak with you. A huge amount offering people knowledge. So let's carry on. Let's talk about the education that you can offer, all about centralized control to decentralized freedom. Probably two words that kind of goes over the top of most people. Says like, what? But you have a growing community that you're building, and you are educating a lot of people. You were talking about certain countries where they have to queue up for cash in the early hours. So we can see the need. Let's talk about the education and what it's all about. Breaking free.
Absolutely, breaking free. And it's such an appropriate term and such a brilliant name for the book that we offer. It's breaking free. It just means so much. It's about learning how to get from centralized control to a decentralized world and decentralized finance. And the book is only $5.99 US dollars. And it's something that is pretty, even though there are many, many struggling communities and many struggling countries, it is still something that people can find it within their reach to purchase. And once you've purchased that book, it's an ebook. And once you've purchased the ebook, you are automatically part of the Breaking Free community. And that is the part that I absolutely love, because buying the book, you don't need to know about crypto. You purchase the book with a debit card or a credit card. You don't even have to know the first thing about crypto. But it gives you a simple entry into the space where you get the education. So not only do you get the book, the ebook, you also get entry into the community where you get lots and lots of videos teaching you what does, as you said before, a lot of people will hear centralized and decentralized and think, what does that mean? Well, that's exactly what we do. We teach you what is the difference. Decentralized is basically you taking control yourself of your own finances through crypto, and centralized is being in the normal banking system. That, look, we still need some of that centralized things. There's no escaping it. it's just part of our life. But I think stepping away from being totally under the thumb of everything that centralized control gives us or has over us does help us to break free, literally, as the book says. And once you start to be a part of the community and you get those videos and you get the free, there's so much education in there, and we have weekly calls where they go into more depth, and you can start as a complete beginner. There's people that have joined who have never ever dealt with crypto, and it doesn't matter if you've never operated a wallet before. It doesn't matter, because as I said, you're paying with your debit card or your credit card, so there's no pressure on you to automatically know what what crypto involves, because a lot of people hear the whole wallet thing and I've got to transfer crypto, and they get frightened. And by doing the book way that we're doing it, and Tony Bello, who is the author of the book and who has created this community, is so good at making it easy for people who have never been involved in that space. And even for somebody like me who has touched on crypto in the past, and I suppose kind of half-eyed open, not really knowing what I was doing, it's been a brilliant way of actually getting better educated and actually learning more about what I'm actually doing, rather than just flying blindly. And I think that's been the big change for me.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. In a moment, I think we should take a look at a short video, but I think it's an absolutely brilliant video that just gives a brief but powerful overview about the breaking free opportunity. So we'll have a look at that now, and then come back and talk about
what if you could have bought $1 of Bitcoin in 2009 when it was worth less than $0.01, just a fraction of a penny? That means $1 could have bought you over 1,000 Bitcoin. Fast forward to March 2026. With Bitcoin trading around $70,000 to $80,000, that same $1 could have grown to tens of millions. Now imagine discovering Amazon in 1997, Apple in 1980, or Facebook in 2004, right at the beginning, before the world caught on. History shows us those who recognize change early and take time to understand it are often the ones best positioned for the future. What if the next big shift is already happening right now, and most people still don't see it? Welcome to Breaking Free. Breaking Free is more than a book. It's a movement. Do you know money is changing? Do you know what digital money is? What crypto is? For just $5.99, you receive the Breaking Free ebook and audiobook. And right now, Breaking Free also gifts you crypto for free, giving you access to unlock the app, training, a reward payment system, and more. Inside members receive access to learning resources like AI, crypto, wellness, and practical tools to help you learn, grow, and move forward with confidence. Help educate, motivate, and elevate others while earning crypto rewards. No middleman, no delayed payments, no centralized control. Just automated crypto rewards. Just by helping 2 people break free with us, our community grows and more opportunities can open for everyone. If you're ready to learn, and if you want to understand where money is heading, Breaking Free could be exactly what you've been looking for. Speak to the person who sent you this video and book a presentation to learn more. We'll see you on the other side of Breaking Free.
Love that video.
Fantastic. I do too. Here's my book. I absolutely love this book. It goes everywhere with me. I also have the ebook, which is brilliant because I like listening to that. It's fantastic. I can read it as well. So I just loving this education myself. But you're building a fantastic community that is actually global. A number of countries now, isn't it, that you've incorporated?
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I love about this. And you know, just seeing that ad just made me really feel proud that I'm part of this community, because we've got Canada, Brazil, USA, UK, Australia, Papua New Guinea, Nigeria, I think Kenya and Gambia just in my team alone. I might have missed a few countries, and that's what makes it so amazing. You're not offering something that is only available to a select few that maybe have got deep pockets. You're offering something that is available to 99% of the, of people, and the education is brilliant. Plus the book comes in many languages, so it's not just in English. There's and Tony has been amazing. He's been adding additional languages as our community grows, so it's definitely something that is available and something that everybody can use, and everybody can get involved and take and use the education.
But the community is key, and your community is growing at quite some rate, isn't it? So tell me more about the benefits of being part of your community, your breaking free community.
I think
because
what's
it's
been
more than just the book.
Absolutely. And I think what's been exceptional is we've got a huge Papua New Guinea community in our particular team. And the thing that has humbled me is they are such genuine people, and they're trying to get ahead. They're trying to have a better quality of life, and they are just blocked each and every which way they go. And I've mentioned, queuing from midnight just to be able to get some cash out of the bank. Their banks block everything that they try and buy online. And for once they've got something that, because they're buying an ebook, which is seen as education, they're allowed to purchase it. They're not getting stopped. And that's the centralized control that we need to step away from, and the centralized control that we are trying to educate people on, that you don't have to always be part of a centralized control environment. Love the picture there. That is our beautiful Papua New Guinea family. And they are so excited because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the Papua New Guinea community, but they've been blocked every which way they've turned. So now finally they've got an opportunity to do something different. Even countries like Australia, people assume there's immense wealth here. We've got a lot of mining, and so people think that everybody's wealthy, nobody's got any issues. Not true. And so even for communities like Australia, it's brilliant to have something which focuses on education and focuses on people learning how to look after themselves financially, but in a different way, not the usual fiat, which for people that maybe won't know what fiat means, it just means your normal Aussie dollars, UK pounds, American dollars, whatever, to do it through a crypto way and to do it safely. And I think that's the one message that I really want to get across, is that this is a safe way to do it. You're not part of an opportunity that is just all about making money. The main key here is education, and that is if you get the opportunity to read the ebook, or as Zanna showed you her hard copy, or I've got mine on my Kindle as well, you'll understand that Tony and Chris Hilario have written the book in a simple way so that everybody can understand it. And then in the education, it does go into more advanced stuff, so it's literally there for everybody. There's no limit to what you can learn from this opportunity, and also change your financial position, which is, a brilliant combination, education and improving your finances. I think it's just brilliant opportunity for all.
So I think it's outstanding. I haven't been able to see anything like this ever. How can give us a run through how our audience can connect with you? How can they get involved, or how can they connect to find out if it's something that they would like to get involved with? So what can they be doing? On our screen, we can see running along the bottom the contacts for our audience to get a hold of you. Happy for people to message you on WhatsApp.
Absolutely, they can message me on WhatsApp. They can email me. I'm happy to take it, either contact is perfect. I'm happy.
Fantastic.
And they can,
and of course,
and then we can have a conversation.
That would be fantastic. People will also be welcomed to join you in your Facebook community.
Absolutely. Yes, we have a Facebook community. We've got a WhatsApp community, because we understand that not all countries have access to social media the same way that we do, and they may prefer WhatsApp. So I offer either way, email, WhatsApp, or Facebook, and then we can have a conversation and see, any questions they might have or any reservations. We can discuss that and explain exactly how it works. The Breaking Free community is growing daily, and we are reaching out to all communities. I think we've lost Zanna. Her internet may have been a little bit rocky there, but just to continue with what we've been talking about, the education, I think, is key, and I think making people feel safe, that they can go into a community where they are cared for, and people share their experiences, people share their education, people share their knowledge. We look after our community, and we understand that not everybody has access to the same facilities that we have, and that's why we hold community meetings through WhatsApp or through Facebook. So whatever is available for you. And then the Breaking Free community is there for you, as I said, with education. And Tony Bella will do a highly centered education as well, on top of all the education that you get. In that little video that we watched earlier on, you saw that we have an app with all the training in there. Everybody can have access to that once you've bought the book, for the ebook, for $5.99. And Zanna mentioned, that this is a global opportunity. There isn't any country that is not able to take part in Breaking Free. It is definitely something that is available for each and everybody. And, I would encourage you to not think of crypto as automatically a scam. It is not something that you have to be afraid of, and it is definitely very real. We've heard about how the Italian government is making crypto more and more available. We've heard how Europe is going to no longer allow more than, I think it is, 10,000 euro cash payments. So that is the control that we're talking about, where the governments are bringing about restrictions for cash money. And so we need alternatives. And crypto, paying for stuff with crypto, as Zanna mentioned, you can pay for airfares, you can pay for food, you can pay for everything. So by not having that money in your bank, you don't have to be scared, how am I going to pay for my bills, or how am I going to pay for my food? You can still do that with crypto. And the one big difference is that I think I speak for globally, most countries don't give you much interest. If you do have money in the bank, you'll be lucky if you've got, let's just say $1,000. You'll be lucky if in a year you get $1 interest. Whereas if you've got $1,000 worth of crypto, be it Bitcoin or be it POL or be it XRP, doesn't matter what it is, you can be very, very certain that you are going to grow that $1,000 by way more than $1 in 12 months. It's a totally different ball game. It definitely has much more value. Whereas fiat money, as we know it, the value is, 10, 20 years ago, you got maybe 15% interest. Those days have long gone. As I said, you'll be lucky if you get $1 interest in a year. So definitely look at, it's a good option to have, especially if you want to improve your financial situation.
And it's no risk, is it? It's for the breaking free opportunity is literally zero. There is no risk.
Absolutely.
You're buying a book which is steeped in education. I think
exactly.
The other thing about the book, you can talk about is how easy it is to read, because by the book perhaps who's reading, it's very easy, this book, to understand.
And I think that's what makes it so acceptable also in everybody's reach, is that it's not the way that Tony and Chris have written it is not in such a way that you think, oh my gosh, I have no idea what they're talking about. This is way, even if you're somebody that's never ever used crypto in the past, who has no knowledge of wallets or anything like that, it's a very well written, easy to understand book, and it explains from the very, very basics. I mean, I said earlier on that I've been doing crypto for a while, but DeFi is a word that we get bandied about, but I never knew that it actually stood for decentralized finance. So that's the simple things that you learn when you become part of this community. And 100%, the book is absolutely easy to read.
Yeah.
So we can definitely, definitely.
I think the community is something great. Absolutely, the community is something that's of great value, not just for the support structure, but from the educational side as well, because within the Breaking Free community, there are regular presentations on Zoom. So this is somewhere where people can listen and learn. I have to say, I've watched many of them, and things become clearer. Things become... And I quite often pick up something else. There's always something else. Oh, that's clear. Presentations on our Zooms are fantastic, and those are regular throughout each week. So
I think we're very privileged. We're very privileged because
it's a community that's incredibly active, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think we're very privileged because we have, as you said, brilliant presentations that are easy to follow. And yes, I've been a part of this community now for nearly 2 months, and what I've learned from those presentations have been amazing. Asada does an excellent job of explaining the basics and making people who possibly have never been involved in this type of thing feel comfortable. So it's definitely something that I would encourage somebody to come on if you want to hear more and learn more, come on there. But you know what's also fantastic about this community, like you said, is the support has been amazing from day one, that you feel from day one, I felt part of the community and I felt supported, and I've never felt like any question or anything is a stupid question. You always feel encouraged to ask whatever you want to ask and to learn as much as you can. So absolutely, those presentations are definitely one way of coming to find out more about what we do and what we offer.
Absolutely. Fabulous. So we've been talking for almost an hour.
I know.
We could carry on for another hour, really.
We could certainly, and but I think it's also because you're passionate about what you do too, and so am I. And I think that's the difference, is when you find something that you really feel passionate about and you know it can help so many people.
Absolutely. So I would say breaking free is more than the book. It's a movement globally, and it's growing and growing. I just want to if you could recap how our audience can get in touch with you, so email and a Facebook page. So any last thoughts?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me here tonight and talking with you. I've loved it. But encourage anybody to contact me, as I said, with whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through email. I'm always open to having a conversation. And if you've been scared of the whole crypto financial side of things, or, Bitcoin, most people think Bitcoin is crypto. It's not. It's only it's the original, as Asada says, the granddaddy, but it is only the beginning. And, if we think back to 15 years ago or 10 years ago when we could have got Bitcoin for $700, and now it's $64,000 for one. Let's not in 5 years' time and look back and say, gosh, I wish I'd joined Lucy in Breaking Free when she was talking about it in 2026. So, I'd encourage you just to be open. Be open to finding out more, and be open to hearing more and widening your horizons, and not being scared of what can be possible or what could be possible. I think your internet has frozen there, Zanna.
And with education, of course,
absolutely. Education is always key. I mean, without education, there can't be progress.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, Gracias, Italy. Grazie, Egypt. Shukran, Ghana. Madasi, Nigeria. Eshe, South Africa. Ngiabonga. Senegal. Jaref. Kenya. Asante. Israel. Toda. Pakistan. Shukriya. Afghanistan. Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.